Greetings, Leo and Leo rising. This is your Western forecast for June 2025. The big cosmic event that's going to bring a lot of shifting positive energies to everybody that we really need in this period of great uncertainty is Jupiter, the planet of optimism, luck, wisdom, traveling, is moving into Cancer. It goes into Cancer, it'll be in Cancer from June the 9th till the end of June 2026. Jupiter goes from sign to sign every year. So Jupiter going in Cancer, if you don't really understand what Cancer is about, you think, so what's the big deal? It's just moving into another sign that's focusing your attention on a different domain of your life. But when Jupiter transits Cancer once every 12 years, it is considered exalted when it transits Cancer, meaning it's in its best sign to give its best results and its best opportunities. Now in Cancer, Cancer is family, nurturing. It can bring in Jupiter in Cancer a lot of emotional growth, care for others, protective home or real estate. These are kind of the positive generalities for Jupiter exalted in Cancer. And there's a lot of anxiety out there about real estate and real estate values going down. This every 12 years, having Jupiter in exalted Cancer, that could really help many of you be thrown a lifeline and get some luck and protection around your living situation, or certainly getting a lot of support. The other thing of Cancer, it's not just your home and real estate, but your family. Now, before I break this down into more detail and look at this cosmic event of Jupiter in exalted Cancer, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. All right, so Jupiter in exalted Cancer. Cancer is the sign prior to Leo. So there's 12 signs of the zodiac. If Leo is the number one sign for me making these predictions, then Cancer is the last sign or the 12th house. Now, Jupiter, let's just start with the most positive. Jupiter seeks knowledge and wisdom. Jupiter used to be, a lot of people focused on your belief systems, your religion. And so Jupiter in Cancer, in your 12th house. The 12th house is introspection, the unconscious, what's hidden. So every 12 years when Jupiter's exalted going through your 12th house, the best is awakening a deeply spiritual, introspective cycle. Great for healing, solitude, and dreaming big behind the scenes. This is a prep time before Jupiter goes into Leo as we're going into July 2026. That 12th house, you could be all this preparing and studying. Jupiter is seeking knowledge. Maybe some of you are writing a novel, trying to get your higher degree. Others might just be, instead of trying to build some kind of big project to be launched next year. This can also be for many of you where you want to get much more involved with philanthropy, charity, spiritual retreats, wellness retreats. But every bright light casts a shadow. And Jupiter in the 12th house, in the shadow house for Leos, can bring you emotional isolation or escapism, because the 12th house can be transitions and what's hiding and hidden. Now, you may be hiding your growth, or it feels like it's happening behind the scenes. There is a risk with exalted Jupiter in your 12th of over-idealizing solitude and or avoiding necessary emotional healing. Basically, the solution is, with everybody, with every Jupiter, don't overdo it. Wherever you're getting excited about getting your degree, building some long-range major project, or going into spiritual practices and going on an ashram to India, all of that's great. Don't lose yourself. Don't get obsessed. Don't overdo it. Now, I usually start with where is the sun shining each month. But this going into an exalted Jupiter cycle every 12 years, I wanted to start there because it's a really big deal. And in some ways, it overshadows everything else. But the sun is in Gemini the first 3 weeks till June the 20th, every June. Where the sun is shining is where your attention and priorities are being directed to. Now, Jupiter went into Gemini a year ago, and it remains in Gemini till June the 9th. So the first 9 days of June, the sun's in Gemini, and Jupiter is still in Gemini. That sun, Jupiter, is still putting a lot of hopefulness, luck, opportunities to the 11th house sector. That could be really expanding your social circle or getting a lot of support from associates, from friends. Feeling really confident about your long-range goals and aspirations. That's the 11th. That could be getting more involved and supported with organizations, or starting to form a group, or join an important group to really support you personally or professionally. Then the sun leaves Gemini on the 20th of June and goes into Cancer till July the 22nd. So now the sun in Cancer is putting a real spotlight on your 12th house, joining Mercury, which is in Cancer once a year. So this is really good for curiosity and learning and studying. And Jupiter seeks knowledge, and it's exalted in the 12th house. Are you seeking spiritual knowledge or religious knowledge? Are you seeking academic knowledge? Are you going after a degree to really expand your future opportunities? Now, as Jupiter is in the 12th house, now that can be very favorable for studying, because Jupiter seeks wisdom. The 12th house is pulling away, needing the solitude. Very favorable if you're writing a book, or if you're trying to get that degree and you have to pull away and do all that studying and being introspective and being really focused. But you've got to be careful about when this cycle begins, June the 9th, because Jupiter will be immediately squaring. That's being blocked by restricted Saturn and Neptune. Jupiter to Saturn, you could be feeling blocked with your growth. Sometimes you're worried about your finances, your living situation with that Jupiter-Saturn. Then you mix in Neptune and it brings in a lot of anxiety and uncertainty. The good news is it's only happening from June the 9th to the end of June. Jupiter will continue moving forwards. It'll stop, it'll retrograde. But when it retrogrades, it does not come back to the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which I'm sure I talked about in last month's video. because Neptune, which is the vision, the dream, the idealism, went into Aries at the beginning of April, once every 166 years. Pragmatic, manifesting. Saturn is a 29.5-year cycle, and at the end of May, it went into Aries. So from the end of May into the first part of June, we're getting clues of what the Saturn-Neptune conjunction wants to manifest, but it's not technically exact until around February the 20th of 2026. We're getting all kinds of clues the end of May into June. Saturn-Neptune, as I think I was talking about, left by itself, can trigger a lot fear and anxiety and discouragement. But this is, they come together every 36 years. But this is one of the best ones in decades because transformational, powerful Pluto is in the early degrees of Aquarius, which is an air sign, bringing a lot of fuel to the Saturn, Neptune, and Aries so it can glow and shine even more. On the other side of the Saturn, Neptune, and Aries is progressive, innovative Uranus in July 2025. It's moving into another air sign of Gemini. So you have these two powerful outer planets that often can impact life-changing events, but they're in harmony with each other because they're both in air signs, and sandwiched in between these two positive, powerful forces is Saturn and Neptune, which is in a fire sign. So the positive of Saturn-Neptune is starting to manifest your dreams, your visions. Saturn will start compelling you to feel that your dreams and your visions are possible. The Saturn-Neptune in Aries is a fire sign, positive to Leo, a fire sign, and Aries is 9 signs past Leo. So this potential for manifesting your dreams and your goals and aspirations is highlighting the 9th house. The 9th house can represent getting a higher degree. That would certainly be a major goal in life because the 9th house is higher education. But it could also be marketing and publishing, whether this is a website, whether this is a book, a television show, a movie, film that you are promoting and marketing out to the world. That's the 9th house. The 9th house also represents foreign matters. This could be very favorable for working abroad, maybe moving abroad, but doing importing, exporting, having a lot of business, maybe not in a foreign land, but working with foreigners. That could be the 9th house. Mars is ambitious and assertive. It was in Leo. I think I talked about this last month. Once every 2 years, back in November, December. Then as we went into January, it went retrograde into Cancer. And then April the 17th, 2025, it went back into Leo until June the 17th. So the first 17 days of June, Mars is in fiery, dynamic Leo in your sign or rising sign. It's giving you a lot of confidence, risk-taking, encouragement, motivation. It's very good physically, sexually, and just really wanting to be independent, do your own thing, and taking the lead. June the 17th, it goes into Virgo, first time in 2 years. And Virgo is the second sign past Leo. The second sector is always about income or your possessions. And Mars is very ambitious and aggressive to increase your income from June the 17th to August the 6th. Venus, planet of desire, creativity, sociability, popularity, will be in Taurus once a year from June the 5th to July the 4th. Taurus is 10 signs past Leo. So that benefic, charming, sociable, loving Venus energy will be highlighting your 10th house of careers. Really favorable if you're in entertainment or an artist, any type of creative field. Because the Venus will bring in you luck and popularity, recognition. If you are trying to promote business, Venus in that 10th house, people will be liking you. Whatever you're trying to promote and sell, people will just buy because they like you, they trust you, with Venus moving through the 10th house. Venus can represent romance and love and intimacy. When it's in the 10th house, maybe there is an attraction at the job, or it doesn't have to be at the job. That could represent older people. So you could be, an older person could be attracted to you or vice versa. But this is really good for business. But with that exalted Jupiter moving into your 12th house, you're going to be starting a big, huge project once every 12 years that could be down a spiritual path or more materially, more in the mundane world, getting that degree or writing that book behind the scenes or building and develop any kind of project that could take a long time. But the Jupiter is bringing all this opportunity and luck and protection. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or how to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.